everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we're making this cute little cactus ornament. This is super cute and super fun, and you can adorn your tree or a gift with this ornament. It's a cute little amigurumi style, so this is what we're going to make today. And you're going to need some Red Heart Super Saver yarn. I'm just using scraps basically, but here is the label so you can see. I'm using, my main color is Paddy Green. Okay, Paddy Green, and then I'm using some flecks of white and some extra little colors for a pop of color for these little palms on this, but you don't need to make the palms if you don't want to. You can opt out and just have a plain cactus, so that's creator's choice, but that's the yarn I'm using. You can use any worsted weight or double knitting yarn to make this. It's just an acrylic yarn. And then I'm using an F size hook, which is 3.75 millimeters. And this specific hook that I got is from the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy. You can get that by clicking the link in the description of this video. These are super fancy and great ergonomic hand-carved wooden hooks, so they're really wonderful to crochet with. Also, you'll need a scissors, a yarn needle, and a little bit of polyfill to cut your yarn, sew in some ends, and stuff the cactus. So those are all the supplies you're going to need. I'll put all the links in the description of this video where you can get those supplies if you do not have them, but you can get them at any craft store really. So, and then we're making this into a cute little ornament with this little yarn here, so it's a lot of fun. So before we begin, I do have to mention there are links in the description of this video. So like I said, link to get where these supplies, but also a link to my Facebook and Instagram, my Snapchat username, all that stuff, so you can follow me on social media and follow my posts. Also hit that subscribe button here. Big thank you to Red Heart Yarns for providing the yarn. Big thank you to my dad back there for filming, editing, and posting all the pictures and everything. So keep watching and we'll get started and make this cute little cactus ornament. Alright, we're going to start out by making this middle piece here, this long middle piece here, but we're working in rows. So what we're going to do is start off by making a slip knot. So put your short end over your long end, then fold this down and then pull your long end through, and there is a slip knot. Okay, insert your hook and we can begin. So to start off, we're going to chain 21. So yarn over and pull through. 1, yarn over and pull through. 2, here's 3. Okay, 4 and 5. I'm not going to make you watch me chain 21, so just chain 21 and I will be back for row 1. Alright, so I just chained 21, so there it is. Now what we're going to do is single crochet into the second chain from the hook and all the way across. So the loop on the hook doesn't count as a chain, so count 1 and 2. This chain right here is where we're going to work. And what I like to do, you can see your chain like this. I actually like to turn my chain toward me like this. And you can see here these back ridges right there. I like to work into these back ridges. Okay, so I'm going to go into that second chain, so 1, 2 right there. I'm going to go into that back ridge. Okay, then yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook, and that is a single crochet. So now we're going to do that in each chain across. So go into this next chain right here, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Next chain right here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're just going to do that in each chain across for row 1. And at the end of this row, you should have 20 single crochets. So I'm going to do that, and then I will go on to row 2. Alright, just single crocheting in this last chain here. Going on to row 2, we're going to chain up 1, so yarn over and pull through. Turn the work around. Okay, and now we are going to work the repeat, rows 2 through 15. Okay, 2 through 15, we're going to be doing this. We're going to chain up 1, turn our work around, and we're going to be working in the back loops only on this piece. So we want to make that ribbing effect. So what we're going to do here, you can see these stitches. Let me get my crochet work. Let me remove this here so I can show you. So you can see these stitches. This first stitch is where we're going to work into right here, but you can see I'm going under both loops right here. This loop that's furthest away from you right here is actually the back loop. Okay, so we're going to be working only in that back loop. So this loop, this stitch right here, usually we work in both loops here, but we're actually only going to be working in the back loop here. Okay, back loop, here's the back loop, here's the back loop, etc. So I'm going to insert my hook right back into this loop here. So we chained up one and turned our work around, and now in this very first stitch, okay, it can be hidden underneath your working yarn here, so don't miss that first stitch. In the back loop there, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook, and that's our single crochet. Okay, go into the next stitch in the back loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through two. Okay, back loop only. The back loop only will allow this to have a ribbing effect, and that's what we want for the cactus. Let me pull that one out here real quick so I can show you the back side of this one that I have already made. It gives this ribbing effect here. You can see this line here. That's because we were working in the back loops only, so you can see that it gives a little bit of a dimension and looks more like a cactus. So that's what we're doing. So I'm just going to do that for rows 2 through 15. So just single crochet in each stitch across, working in the back loops only, and then chain up one, turn your work, and do the same exact thing for rows 2 through 15. Once I finish row 15, I'll meet you up at that clip and we will go on to the next step. Alright, I just am finishing row 15 here. So this is what your piece should look like, just a kind of like a rectangular piece. So what we're going to do now is fasten this off. So I'm going to chain one. You want to fasten off with a long tail for sewing, so I'm just going to cut my yarn really long and then pull it all the way through that chain one there. Okay, just like that, and pull tight. So this is what your piece should look like. So now we're going to grab our yarn needle. We're going to make this into the cactus look. So we're going to bring this side and this side together, like fold it in half this way. Okay, and what we're going to do then is take that long strand and your yarn needle and yarn your needle with that strand. Oopsie. There we go. Okay, yarn your needle with that strand, and then we are going to whip stitch this around. So just go through the back loops. So this is the back loop of this side. Okay, so there we go, this back loop here, and then this back loop is actually on the inside of this one here. Okay, you can see the insides there, and then we're just going to pull. Okay, and then just come back through, keep going on the same side, this side and then this side. Okay, and then just pull. Okay, so this side and then this side, and then just pull, just like that, all the way up this piece. So we're just going to seam this all up. When I get to here, I'll meet you up and then we'll go on to the next clip. Alright, just sewed up this seam there, so now we can go on to the next step, which is cinching this top closed. Okay, so what we're going to do is first I'm going to come around here and just tie a knot. Okay, so once you get all the way up this seam here, we're going to go through a couple of the stitches just like this. Keep your finger into that loop right here, okay, and then come back through that loop right there, and then pull that, just so that it ties a knot, so that when you do pull your yarn, this side won't cinch up and be like pulled either. Okay, so now we have this hole to close up here. So what we're going to do is at the very edge of around this rim here, we're just going to go in and out. So just go in and out, in and out, just like that, and then pull. And we're going to kind of just go around this whole edge, wherever your needle goes in and out of. There we go, just like that, and then pull. And you can kind of start to see that it will start to cinch closed, which is exactly what we want. But just know that this is inside out, so after this step we have to put it right side out here. And I'm almost done. Back to the beginning. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to just cinch it, pull, and pull. Okay, so that's closed at the top there. Now I'm going to go underneath a few of the stitches right here. Keep my finger in that loop, come back through that loop, and just pull. And you can do that, you know, once or twice. I'll do it twice, just for safety, peace of mind, all that good stuff. And I can cut this yarn short even too, but you can leave it. You don't have to sew that end in or anything. It's going to be on the inside. So now I'm just going to take this and put it right side out. It's going to be kind of difficult. There we go. Oh, look at that. That looks so awesome. Looks like a cactus already. Okay, so now what we want to do before stuffing this, we're going to make the 2 arms, okay, on each side. As you can see on this cactus, it has 2 arms, but they're exactly the same. So I'm just going to show you one arm, and then you can make the other arm, and then we'll make these little tick marks. So let's set this aside, grab some more green, make a slip knot. Okay, I showed you how to do that earlier in this tutorial. And for those little arms, we are going to chain 13. So I'll do that real quick here. You can just continue watching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So once you have your 13 chains, we are going to basically repeat what we did for this piece. So we are going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Okay, if you need to, you can rewind this to the first piece to see how I did that. And then we're going to single crochet in each chain across here. So in each chain, just put 1 single crochet. So at the end of this row, for these little arm pieces, you'll have 12 single crochets at the end of row 1. Okay, so I'll just do that across and then I'll meet you up for row 2. Alright, so I just finished row 1 there, so there it is. You have 12 single crochets across. Now for rows 2 through 8, we are repeating what we did for the first piece. We're just going to chain up 1, turn our work around, work in those back loops only, and don't forget this very first stitch right here. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then go to the next, back loops only, and single crochet across. That's for rows 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so when I finish row 8 on this smaller piece, this arm, when I finish row 8, I'll come back and I'll show you how to make this curved so we can make the arm curvy and then be able to attach it to our cactus. Alright, just finished row 8 here, so 2, 4, 6, 8, so this is what your little piece should look like. So instead of cutting our yarn and sewing this closed, we actually want to curve it. So what I'm going to do is chain 1, and then turn my work here. I'm going to fold this side up, okay, like that, and we're going to match up the stitches. And then what we're going to do is work in this back loop here. You can see this layer here and this layer. We're going to connect the 2 layers, but we're also going to curve this. So let's go into this back loop of this stitch, and then you can go either through the back loop of this stitch here, like that, right like that, or you can go through both loops on this stitch. It's totally up to you. So we are going to yarn over, pull through, and we're going to single crochet. So yarn over and pull through 2 loops, just like that, in these first 4 stitches. So that was 1. So go to the next stitch on this row here, right there, then go into the stitch across from it, lining up with it right here, okay, and then yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So that's our second stitch. In the next stitch here, same thing, back loop, then yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2. There's our third stitch, and fourth stitch is here, same thing. Now we are going to make the curve. So in the next 4 stitches, we are going to single crochet 4 stitches together. So we're going to go into this very next stitch, okay, in both layers, yarn over, pull through, go directly into the next stitch right here, both stitches there, yarn over, pull through, next stitch right here in both, yarn over, pull through, and the next one here, back loops, both layers, yarn over, pull through. Then what we're going to do is pull this quite tight, everything, okay, yarn over. You should have 5 loops on your hook here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yarn over and pull through all 5 of those loops, just like that, okay, and you can kind of see it started to curve. Now we should have 4 stitches left. We're going to do what we did when we started. We're just going to go into this very next stitch here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. And remember both stitches, front here and back there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Next one, and our last one. Awesome. Now what we have to do still is chain 1. Okay, you can see there's that curve there, and it will get even more curvy when we stuff this thing. So chain 1, cut your yarn, long for sewing, and then pull that through. We're going to sew this closed because we have to cinch the top here. So let's grab our yarn needle. Okay, yarn your needle with the yarn that you just cut, the long strand there. Okay. And I'm going to actually turn this around. I'm going to stick my finger through this tube here, just like this. And we're going to do what we did for this first piece here. We're going to cinch this top closed. So what we're going to do here is just go in and out of this edge, just closing this side. Just like that, in and out. And then when you get back to the beginning here, we're going to cinch it tight all the way. And since you have this straggler here, you could tie those 2 in a knot or tie this piece in a knot just like I showed you for this piece here. So I'm just going to tie these 2 ends in a knot though, because it's pretty easy then. So I'm just going to tie those 2 together, just like that, and then you can cut those shorter. Now we have to just put this in outside right, and it can get kind of difficult, so if you need to use your hook or some other piece to pull it through, you can, but just flip it inside right, there we go. And the stitches you can see, I don't know if you can see very well, but they're right here, the 4 single crochets together, so that will be the top curve part, and if you stretch this out and everything, you'll see that it curves upward sort of naturally. Okay, so now what I need you to do is make 1 more of these. So if you need to, rewind this to see how I made this and make 2 total. So we have 2 of these, and then flip 1 around. So we have 2. Then you can grab your little cactus, put 1 here, and probably 1 down here. So we are starting to see it come together. But the first thing we have to do is make the tick marks before we stuff this thing. So let me grab some white yarn, and we will make those marks and then go on to the next step. Alright, so you have your 3 pieces done here. So we have this piece, and this piece, and I just want to make some tick marks on this to make it have like a little bit of dimension like a cactus, and you can see my other cactus here. I made a bunch of these little V tick marks. Now this is optional, you don't have to do this, but I just made these random little things so they look like little spikes, I guess. So I'm going to do that for each of these pieces, and then we'll go on to the next step. So I yarned my needle with some white already. And what we're going to do now on any of these pieces, I'm just going to show you one, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to start at the bottom. We're going to go into the bottom here from the inside, and we're going to go in. You want to make sure you know where your back side is, so you can kind of see my back seam is right there. So keep that to the back, okay? You can go around this whole piece, that's totally cool, but I'm just going to do the front. And we're just going to come out through a stitch like this, and come out a lot like that. Then we're going to go back down and up to the next stitch, like that, and then just come back through that bottom stitch there to make a V. And then we're just going to come through the bottom here. And there's a cute little tick mark V. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to do that all up and down and all around this whole piece. So what we're going to do next is just go randomly. You can go randomly or in order or wherever you want to. So I'm just going to go right here. Okay, then down, and then up to the next, and then back down through that bottom same spot. Right there. Then you can go over to the next spot, wherever you want that to be, probably over here. So there's another one. Okay, and then I'm just going to make another one here. Go down and up. And then back down. So that's how you do it. So I'm just going to do this all over this piece, and then I'll do it also to these other two pieces. And just make sure when you're looking at your piece, so I have this piece here, okay, and when it's stuffed you'll definitely see those V's come out really, really nicely. But these two pieces back here, just make sure if you're doing only the front side to make sure to do it this side of this one, and then make sure you flip this one over and do this side. Because if you do both sides the same, this side and this side, then it could look, you wouldn't be able to see the other side, because we're going to put each one on each side of this piece. Okay, so do that up, and then once I have that all finished, I will meet you up at that next clip, and then we'll go on to the next step. Alright, so I did want to show you when you have your little tick marks all done here and you come back down to the beginning here, down to the bottom, you want to end on the inside, and we are going to just tie then these two ends in a knot on the inside of the cactus, just like that. Okay, and then you can, cut them short and shove those back inside, because those will be completely covered. So there is this part, there's this one here, and then there's this one right here. Perfect. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we can stuff these pieces and then sew them together onto this cactus. And you can sew them wherever you want. You can sew them right next to each other, one lower, one higher, or wherever you want them. So we need to just grab some stuffing. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of stuffing here. Stuff all three pieces. Okay. And we are going to close this bottom. I have to crochet a little piece to close that bottom there. But I just want to stuff this first. Just like that. Okay, and I stuffed these two already, so this is what they should look like. You want to kind of stretch them out to make sure they are curved. And then what we're going to do is grab an extra piece of yarn, green yarn, because we're going to sew these little cactus arms to this cactus. So let's yarn our needle with a strand of green, and you can position these where you want them. So I'm going to put one down here, right about here. Okay, and what we're going to do now, I'm just going to show you here, we're going to go into the big part of the cactus and then out this small arm of the cactus. Okay, and we're just going to go around. So you're going to kind of hold it. If you need to, you can pin it down or just hold it with your other hand. And I'm just going around and around. Nothing too fancy. You can take your time, obviously, but I'm going a little quicker for the camera. So I'm just going to go around here. Just make sure that your tick marks are in the front and your curve is on the upward side, okay? You don't want your arms to be like upside down, curving downward. That'd be funny. Okay, almost done. Oopsie. There. Then when you come back to around to the beginning here, what you can do is either tie these two ends in a knot or tie them both off separately, how I showed you earlier with this piece here. Okay, just want to make sure that that's curved, looks good. So I'm going to tie these two ends in a knot. So I'm just going to cut this here and then tie these two strands. this and like this. Okay, and then what we'll do is take our yarn needle, take those 2 strands there, and we're going to put them into the inside of this cactus big piece. Oops. Just pull them, there we go, in. Okay, so there's one of them. Awesome. Now I'm just going to sew this other one on about right up here. Okay, exactly the same way. Probably do it like right here. So they're matching. Maybe right up here. Okay, and once I have this other one sewn on, then we'll meet up and we will close this bottom. Alright, so it's turning out super cute so far, so this is what it should look like, something similar to this. You can have, obviously I said you can make them wherever you want these arms to be. You can put them wherever, but now we just have to close this bottom, so I'm going to set this aside and grab some more green yarn and make a slip knot. In the bottom we're just going to make a little circle, so let me insert my hook here. We are going to, let's see, bottom circle, we are going to chain 2. 1 and 2, and in the second chain from the hook we are going to put 6 single crochets in there. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. So there's 1, here's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're working in continuous rounds. So I'm going to get a stitch marker, just a different piece of yarn here, separate color. Okay, just to mark my rounds. If you have a legit stitch marker, you can stick it in this spot right here to mark your rounds. And we're going to go on to round 2. We're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So this first stitch here gets 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. So hop to the next and put 2 single crochets in there, 1 and 2, and then hop to the next and go in and put 2 single crochets in there. Okay, so we're doing that all the way around. At the end of round 2, we will have 12 single crochets, and I'm almost there, just 2 more stitches left, and we can go on to round 3. So move your stitch marker up. Okay. Round 3 says to put 2 single crochets in this next stitch right here. So this first stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Just put it 1. Okay, then 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2. And then 1 single crochet in the next, and repeat that sequence all the way around. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next. 2 single crochets in the next, 1 single crochet in the next. And at the end of round 3, we will have 18 single crochets around, and I'm almost there, so you can just continue watching because we will fasten off after this round. It's big enough to fit the bottom of the cactus. Alright, so to fasten this off, we're going to go into this next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through to slip stitch, then chain 1 and cut your yarn long for sewing, and pull that all the way through that chain 1 and pull tight. You can remove your stitch marker, and there is a little circle. It reminds me of the tree ornament that we made earlier this week. So let's grab our yarn needle. It's somewhere around here. There we go. We're going to take the long strand that we cut here and yarn our needle with that. There we go. And we're going to sew this to the bottom of the cactus. Right in here, just shove this little strand inside. That's our little straggler from the center. Okay, so now you can decide if you want to go back and forth, or you can whip stitch it around. So I'm just going to go into here, okay, and into here. I'm going to do a little mattress stitching here. It'll keep it a little bit more uniform here. So go in from the inside and then in from the inside. Oopsie, I wrapped around that arm there. There we go. Then in from the inside. And like I showed you earlier though, how to whip stitch, you can whip stitch, but I'm going through each stitch all the way around this base of the cactus, just like that. Okay, so I'm just going to sew this closed, and then I'll meet you up when I'm finished with this, and we'll go on to the next step. Alright, so when I sewed on this thing, I just want to fasten this off here, so just go around these 2 stitches here, and just like I showed you earlier, to fasten something off, we're going to go through that loop, and then pull tight, and maybe do it twice. Just for security, for peace of mind. Boom. Done. Then you can just stick this right into the inside of this piece, because nobody will ever see it and know that there's loose strands on the inside, and it won't ever fall apart. And you can be done at this point. You can have a cute little cactus amigurumi, but I just want to add a little extra here. So extra. There we go. Awesome. It looks good so far. You can kind of play around with it, make it look more cactus-like. But so far, this is what it should look like, and it should be able to stand on its own too. Oh, it does. It's so cute. Okay, so now I just want to add a little extra garland here. On this one here, you can see I've added a cute little palms here, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So what I'm just going to do is show you a quick palm, how I made mine. I'm going to set this aside and grab some yarn here. Okay, so I have 2 palms made, but I'm going to show you one here. So I'm going to grab some gold yarn. You can grab any colors you'd like. I'm just going to make 3 of these. And what I did is just use my 2 fingers here. And we're going to hold this like this and wrap 10 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, I'm going to hold this together. I'm going to actually set it on the table here, cut that yarn. Then what I'm going to do is take a hook, crochet hook from the back here. I'm going to take this long strand and kind of hook it like this through my fingers, grab it to the back, just like that. Make sure all the yarn is on the inside. There we go. We're going to wrap this around, kind of making a small palm. Grab this side and go like this. Okay, so we have 2 strands like that. Then we're going to, it's not very easy to do it with one hand because the other hand is obviously occupied, but I'm just going to tie this in a knot, just like that. Tie it tight so your fingers are all secure in there. So this is what it should look like. So now these 2 strands here, this one's attached to the ball and this one's long. Okay, now what I'm going to do is be super careful with your scissors. I'm going to take the rounded edge of my scissors so I don't cut my fingers on the inside of here, but just kind of slide this underneath and cut that yarn. There we go, just like that. Okay, that side's done, extra yarn. Okay, and then you can kind of pinch this with this finger and do the same thing to the underside. Just cut just like that. So that's loose. Take your 2 strands that you tied and tighten them more. And if you have a little mini palm maker, that's pretty sweet too. You can use that, but I don't have one. So I'm going to cut this yarn here, tie this in a knot. Tight. Okay. Then we're going to take these 2 long strands and hold our piece here just like this. Okay, kind of see that it's not pretty yet, but we'll take our scissors and give it a trim. So just kind of round it out. And you can make your palms as small or as big as you'd like. Kind of ruffle them up and make it more palm looking. Okay, kind of squish it together, and there's a cute little palm. Awesome. There. So now you can make 2 more of these, or however many you want your cactus to hold. Okay, I'm gonna grab, well, I have 2 done here, 2 other ones. I made a little jade looking one, a little purple one. So I have 3 of these palms done, okay? Now I'm gonna grab a little piece of white yarn. You can use any color yarn for this part, and just grab a strand of it, okay, about 8 inches. And we're gonna stack it, or put it right on our cactus here, across here, kind of measuring it out, and that should be about right. So now, how you want it to be, you want it to take your palms, take this strand of yarn, and start in the center. Okay, take those long strands, lay this on top here, okay, and then tie these long strands in a knot onto this strand, really tight, like extremely tight. Okay, just like that. And then what you want to do is cut these little strands short as the length of your palm pieces. So I'm just going to cut that one and cut this one. And you would never really know that that's tied on there because it looks like it's part of the palm. It looks pretty nice. Then we're going to put this on here, just kind of eyeball it on our cactus of where we want the other 2 to go. Oopsie. I'll just lay this down here. Okay, so I probably want one here and one here, a little closer together, okay? So I'm just going to tie these other 2 on. Let's see here, set this onto this piece, and then tie it in a knot. You can slide it down, just right there. Perfect. And again, cut this short and short. And our last one. Almost done here. This is the last section, you know, I mean, even if you didn't want to add these, you could be done and just add a tie on the top of your ornament and have a cute little cactus ornament. Just a plain cactus. You can make a bunch of them, have a little fiesta party, you know, cactus or succulent themed or something. Cute little cactus party. There we go. Or give it as a gift. Something cute like that. Okay. And then we're just going to tie this to here and this to here and have a cute... That's really cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think this is better than my first one. So what we're going to do is now take our yarn needle, go into the top of this side, this arm, pull it how you want it, the length you want it, go back down in, and then come through that loop to tie a knot, and then go into this piece through, pull tight, and then cut the extra, stretch it out so it's hidden. And I'll show you one more time here for this side. Go in to this side. Oh my gosh, that looks so cute. Okay, come back through and through that loop there, and pull tight and go into this arm. And then cut any extra, stretch it out so it's hidden. Oh my gosh, how adorable is that? Okay, last thing, the very, very, very last thing, we have to make this into an ornament. If you don't want to make it into an ornament, you can skip this part as well, but I'm just going to grab some yarn. Here, let me grab a little extra yarn. There we go. Okay, take our yarn needle, yarn our needle with this, and this part can be any color here. We're just going to go through the top. Let's see here. I want to be able to get through some of these stitches. There we go. Okay. And then pull this up. See how tall you want this to hang. About right there. Sorry, it's a little blurry, but I'm just trying to tie this in a knot. Oh, sorry, I probably should show you that too. Let me back this up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're going to hold this strand up like this, all the way up. And then we're going to wrap this around our finger, kind of like a slip knot where you crisscross this and then come back up through that loop and pull those two strands through. And then tie your knot. Just like that. Okay, so tie it like a slip knot, but pull all the way through. And then you can cut any extra like that. And then what I want to do is pull this to the inside. So I'm just going to go in through a couple stitches. Oh, I don't know, right about here. And come out this spot where this one is. I think that's the same spot. Yep. Grab that knot. Pull it down into the cactus. I know it's a little difficult, but you want to just hide the knot, okay? So just hide it. I'm going to try to look at it. There we go. Pull it in. Of course, it wouldn't work when I'm trying to film this. It worked perfectly before, I promise. But just, I'm trying to go a little faster for the camera because we're almost done. There we go. Okay. And then pull this up. Oops. Oh my goodness, there it is. Sorry guys. Just trying to hide that knot in the inside there. Probably just shove this in there. And there we have it. Awesome. Then just pull on the other side so it's secure and in there. Pull this up. And there it is. Lovely! So there it is, a nice little cactus ornament. Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this. Big thank you to Red Heart Yarns for providing this yarn today. This is a lot of fun. You can make a bunch of these and make a little, like, I don't know, cactus garland, or top your gift with this holiday season. Enjoy it. So a big thank you to my dad too for filming and editing and being so patient back there with me. So until next time everyone, happy holidays and happy hooking!